fine jewelry that no longer seems in style, or we've inherited pieces from family members that we don't wear. Well, nice stones shouldn't be stuck in an envelope or drawer. Evan Duke is the owner of Classic Creations and Diamonds and Gold, and he is here to show us what seems old can be made new again. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me back.
We've talked a lot about different things that you do at your store, and one of them is create custom jewelry.
Absolutely.
How does that work?
So it can happen a bunch of different ways. We can take old stuff and make it new, or if you have an idea for a piece of jewelry that literally you sketch it on a napkin, we can bring that to reality through the use of computer programs and things like that. We can make that all that stuff real.
I feel like we all have some type of old jewelry, be it, you know, a great grandmother that passed it down, or maybe just something we're not using anymore. And you brought some pieces to show how one piece of jewelry can have many new lives.
And I have 2 granddaughters and a stepdaughter that I want to leave things to. So how do I divide it up?
Exactly. So today I brought our jewelry box that we keep showing up with.
Yeah.
So in the jewelry box, here is, I'm going to grab two items. So here's, let's say,
here, I'll take
grandma's
those.
Rings.
Okay.
And
so this is what grandma left us.
Exactly.
And they're beautiful.
They're
yes,
beautiful.
They are.
And we remember grandma wearing those, so there's sentimental value attached to those. Right?
And you feel terrible just throwing them in a drawer because you know they're valuable.
Yeah, or just selling them.
Right.
Exactly. So, and maybe we have a couple daughters, we have a daughter-in-law or some granddaughters that we like. So what we do, and let's point at the emerald ring for starters.
Okay.
We can take that apart and maybe we end up making, maybe one daughter wants a ring. So maybe we take that emerald and we
Okay, wait till you
repurpose
see
it
this, you guys.
into something like that.
So you basically pulled the stone, and this is a very modern look right now, a halo setting.
Absolutely. And in a lot of cases, we can use the side diamonds to create that halo or the other accents within the ring.
Okay.
Or maybe one of the other girls wants a pendant. So let's make an emerald pendant.
That would be perfect for my 2 granddaughters.
Look at that.
Everybody
so
would
again,
be happy.
Taking a stone, making it a little bit more modern.
Exactly.
Using every piece of it. And by the way, you feel so special knowing that a part of great grandma is with you.
Yeah, and they will think of you every time they wear it.
That's
Absolutely.
the whole purpose. You maintain the sentimental value while you're changing what grandma wore. You're still using her parts and pieces to keep the sentimentality there.
And you're getting it out of your drawer where a beautiful ring with, you know, great stones is going to no use.
True, very true, exactly.
Okay, let's look at one more because I am a diamond fan, and this one is really beautiful, pretty, and sparkly. So what are some of the things that we can do with those stones?
Well, that's a pretty awesome ring as it is.
It kind of is, but I'll be honest, it's a little much, maybe. Although maybe I'll check it. Might be a little much for some people for every day.
It is.
Although maybe not me.
Yeah.
Linda and I are like, wow,
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. That's my kind of ring. That's my kind of ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've got lots of grandkids. So
Exactly.
what do we do
so,
now?
And again, for your 2 daughters, Linda, what we do is we take that ring has 3 really pretty stones. So what could happen is, again, maybe one of the granddaughters is going to be getting engaged, and maybe her fiance, she says, hey, I want to use grandma's ring as my engagement ring. So her fiance comes in and they pick out maybe a new mounting.
Oh.
And look at the, I mean, just look at what you're able to do.
In that case, a lot of times what we're going to recommend is, hey, let's pick something out of the case because it's going to be more cost effective than recreating that using the small stuff. But most importantly, we use the big diamond.
Right.
Now, if we're insisting using the smaller diamonds, then we create that ring from scratch and we use those diamonds. Maybe we take some of the smaller diamonds and we make one of these very popular, they call it a Riviera or a station necklace or diamonds by the inch.
Lovely.
Yeah, so the little stones out of there can then be used
to make something like that.
Again, which is very on trend, and Linda, to your point, also a way to spread the wealth around different children and grandchildren. You brought a couple of pictures too that I want to point out because a lot of them involve men's stones. You know, it's not just grandma that's leaving us things.
And we're not limited to rings and necklaces. It could be bracelets. It could be earrings. Like this particular thing was a man, he was left that big, what we call a Kentucky cluster. That was his dad's.
That's very interesting.
But he wanted a really cool cross. So we took the diamonds out of the Kentucky cluster and made a cross.
That's very cool. What a great idea. And then other things that you can do just so we all have ideas.
Now that was a really cool piece because that's a very regular customer of ours, and her husband passed. So we took her original engagement ring, and that was his diamond ring, and used his diamonds, and that's actually inlaid black coral.
How special.
That was in there. So we inlaid the black coral down the side, and we combined her ring with his
so
ring
she can
to
wear
make one
his
ring.
Oh, what a beautiful thing.
What a wonderful sentiment. I absolutely love that. So the sky's the limit. You have the creativity to
Exactly.
do all sorts of different things.
And that's one of those things that was exactly a ring like we just showed. And this man said, I want something that has my grandmother's stones in it. And we came up with that style.
So does that involve just sitting down and talking to you and having ideas? Is the sharing of ideas what you want?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have ideas, it makes our job easier because we're not just shooting from the hip. But we can obviously direct you. And using the pieces that you have, we can determine, is what you're thinking feasible?
Right.
Does it make sense?
Will it support a stone?
Right.
There's lots of things to consider, which is why we need an expert.
Yes.
There's a lot of mechanical issues involved.
Well,
really
I love the creativity, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. I also want everybody to know that you also do a lot of jewelry repairs. So you are a full-service jewelry store, something to keep in mind, but definitely a lot of creativity here, which we should know, of course, because your website makes that very clear. ClassicCreationsJewelers.com for more information. We'll be right back.